All right.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting Merkabah study group class brought to you by the Third Eye Horizon Mystery School. I'm your host, one of them at least. We're all kind of the teachers and hosts, but I'm Nick Bryce, and here with my homie. Want to introduce yourself to the viewers out there?
Hey guys, I'm Lokesh. I met Nick at 3DL and I was really interested in studying the Merkabah. Finally, I've got a chance to do it. I'm really excited.
Awesome. Well, cool. Yeah. So we've been reading the mystical Kabbalah for those of you who've been watching and following along. Basically, to build a foundation for us to research Merkabah further. The vision has been said to be aligned with, the study of the Merkabah. So this is the book for those of you who haven't seen it. The Mystical Kabbalah by Don Fortune. If you're watching or if you're in this chat, it's going to be in the comments, but it's posted all over the internet right now for tonight's broadcast. So we're on chapter 7, and Cash, I was saying, I was going to give you a brief summary. So for everybody out there, essentially, we've understood from Dion, unfortunately, that she's sort of initiating us into Kabbalah, which is considered the yoga of the West, or she'd put it in those words. And the tree of life is this study and meditating upon symbols, and specifically the tree of life symbol, the different sephiroths, forgot how to say that, like the different points of the tree of life. So there's 10 of them, all pointed throughout here. 22 paths connecting them all together, and the tree of life is being said or explained to us as some kind of blueprint for the entire universe, as well as like a human form. Brief synopsis, and we were just touching base on like Cather. We just learned from the last chapter is like they compared it to the crown chakra, and the holistic tree is also paralleled with the Hindu chakra system as well, apparently. And then we were starting to branch out and get to know some of the other sephiroths. So that's essentially where we're at. Like I said, chapter 7. I think. Are you able to see the PDF or check that out?
Yeah, I can.
Cool.
So going to chapter 7, you said?
Yeah, I know we're hopping right in, but I'll just do a temperature check just because it's you and me right now and breezy. I'm kind of considering doing a brief or possibly us watching a Merkabah activation after our reading, and you can actually experience the because we weren't able to do the cache at 3 days of light, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So if we decide to do that, we'll see. We'll see. Just kind of we'll feel it out. We haven't done it yet, but we're building to start.
Okay.
On these products.
I pulled up the chapter on the phone.
All right, cool. Yeah, man. If you feel comfortable, if you want to kick it off, if you're able to read, the text all right on your phone.
Sure. Just start reading the chapter.
If you don't mind, sir.
Yeah, of course. Having considered and applying the development of the three first divine emanations, we are now in a position to obtain a deeper insight into their natural and significance. For we can study them in relation to each other. This is the only way to study the Sephiroth. For a single Sephiroth taken by itself, barren of significance, the topic of life is essentially a scheme of relationship, stresses, and reflections. Diagram 2. Uh, the rabbinical books apply many curious appellations to the Sephiroth, and we learn much from considering these. For every word in these books have a vague significance, and none are used lightly or for the sake of ideal poetry, even poetic imagery. All are as precise as scientific terms, which, in fact, is what they are. The meaning of the word kether we have already noted is crown. Chokmah means wisdom and Bina means understanding. But pendant to these two latter Sephiroth is a curious and mysterious third, which we never represent in the glyph of the tree. This is the invisible Sephira, Dot, knowledge, and it is said to be formed out of the conjunction of Chokmah and Bina and is situated extreme by abyss. Crowley tells us that Dot is another dimension to the other Sephiroth and forms the apex of a pyramid which Kethet, Chokmah, and Bina from these three basic angels. To me, Dot presents the idea of realization and consciousness.
Okay. I'll just mention real quick.
Cool.
For you, Lakesh, and people who are catching up with us here, because as you can see, it kind of goes deep. If the Crowsmith and Bena, I believe that's how you may pronounce it, are two of the other Sephiroths below the Kether. So they are. So this is the Kether. Oops.
Okay. This is what?
So yeah, this big white thing, and then there's two dots on the other sides, the top sides of the tree of life. So essentially, that's what we're talking about when it says Crowsmith, and then the Doth, the Void, I believe is somewhere in the middle over here. So I noticed there's a bit of a glare on my screen, but
no, I can see it.
Guy's head is, so that's interesting.
Okay.
So yeah, I could take it for a little bit, Lakesh.
Okay.
And we'll get through some more of this. Lakesh, are you really familiar with Tree of Life, or have you studied any Kabbalah before?
No, I'm not studying the Kabbalah before, but I am familiar with the tree of life, flower of life, and all those concepts. Yeah.
Well, essentially, what they explained to us a couple chapters ago is just by meditating upon symbols. That's one of the main methods of the people that study Kabbalah. So if you can just meditate on that symbol without even really understanding,
right,
you're getting information, is what they explain. So, so for those of you watching, and for you, don't get a while, I'm like, holy shit, what is all this? So, all right, so I'll pick it up. Part 4 here.
Yes. Yeah. Part 4.
Awesome. So let us now proceed to elucidate the 3 supernails according to the method of the mystical Kabbalah, which I don't think it's explained what superniths are yet. Because I don't think I heard you mention that. According to the method, yeah, the mystical Kabbalah, which consists of finding the mind with all the correspondence and symbols aligned thereto, and letting work among them. It will be observed that these 3 and their mysterious 4th all contain symbolism relating to the head of man. And for those of you reading along, there's the PDF in the comments, and on the Facebook event page there's the PDF. And attached to this YouTube video, we're going to have the PDF available as well. We had some technical difficulties with that earlier, so it may not be there right now. All right, page 40 represents the highest level of consciousness. Right, sorry, this thread, which in the archetypal man represents the highest level of consciousness. Excuse me a second. On this like raw vegan diet.
Nice.
Recently juggling that with like, I guess, regular veganism, kind of like falling back on that, trying to go more raw to cleanse my body of those higher vibrations come in. All right. I was just gifted this little creepy, funny mask.
Oh, cool.
Girlfriend. Right. When we seek in the rabbinical literature, but further names may have been applied to them, we find yet more head symbolism applied to Kether. This, although not specifically referred to them, may be taken to embrace the other 2 supernails also, for they are aspects of Kether. Okay. So I think the supernails are, the Kether, the Croaksmith, and the Sephiroths. And they're called superniths. That's what I think. Hopefully that'll be clarified. I just lost my place momentarily.
I think you're on 5.
I think I'm at probably 6 because I just read 5.
Yeah.
So the rabbi is called Kether, among other titles, which we need not consider now. Arkin Pin, the vast counterpiece, the white head, the head which is not the magical symbol of Kether, according to Crowley, is an ancient bearded king seen in profile. McGregor Mathers says symbolism of the vast Contentance. Continence. It's a weird word.
Continents.
Continents.
Is that a profile? Yeah, continents. Is that a profile in which one side only of the continents is seen? Is said in the Kabbalah. All right side. On the left side, beginning turn towards the unmanifested. It's for us like the dark side of the moon. Nice. So let's take that in. Would you mind taking it from 7?
Yeah. But Kether is primarily the crown. Now the crown is not the head, but rests upon it and above it. Therefore, Kether cannot be conscious, cannot be consciousness, but the raw material of consciousness. When considered microcosmically, and the raw material of existence. When considered macrocosmically, but there is twofold way of considering the tree. As we have already noted, it can be regarded as the universe and as the soul of man, and these two aspects throw light upon each other. In other words, the emerald tablet of Hermes, as above, so below. Kether differentiates into Chokma and Bina before it achieves phenomenal existence, and these two are called the Kabbalists, Abba, the supernatural, the supernal father, and Amma, the supernal mother. Bina is also called the Great Sea, the Shahati, the sphere of Saturn. As we continue, we shall find that Sephiroth are called successively the spheres of the planets, but Bina is the first emanations to be so assigned. Ether is called the first Berlin, and Chokma the sphere of the zodiac. Now Saturn is the father of the gods. Now Saturn is the father of the gods. He is the greatest of the old gods that were the predecessors of the Olympians over which Jupiter rules. In the secret titles attributed to the Terror Trumps, the path of Saturn is called, according to Crowley, the Great One of the Nighttime. We have the Kether differentiating into an active male potency, Chokma, and passive female potency, Bina, and these are placed at the head of the two side columns formed by the vertical alignment of the Sephiroth in their spacing of the Tree of Life. Of these two columns, the left-hand one under Bina is called Severity. The right-hand one under Chokma is called Mercy. The middle one under Kether is called Mildness and is said to be the column of equilibrium. These two sides of columns are the two pillars that stand at the entrance of King Solomon's temple and are represented in all lodges of the mysteries. The candidate himself, when he stands between them, is the middle pillar of equilibrium. Here we meet with the idea put forth by Meme Blavatsky that there can be no manifestation without differentiation into the pairs of opposites.
All right. I was going to take it for you from there, but I realized I was muted when I tried to pipe in. Kept going. That's really interesting, that last part, especially what you read about Sephiroths being the pillars of, the King Solomon's temple and other lodges and mysteries. So, those other cult groups,
right?
Really take this life. So So yeah, part 11, how we met how we met with the idea put forth by Mim that they cannot know that there can be no manifestation. Yeah, my brain's a little scrambled right now from still getting used to everybody to trying to around online and read. I just got another video going, so trying to stay centered in my mind and be able to research properly with everyone. So without differentiation, excuse me, wow. How often do you yeah, you can read the next part. So we got another reader coming in here. So I'll admit to everybody, and you, my friend, that I'm not particularly always the best reader. I feel like it's important to read out loud, so we can hear each other and learn. And sometimes I'm like really hot with the reading, sometimes I'm not. So as humbly as I can admit. So into appearance opposite of opposites. Cather differentiates its two aspects of Croaksmith and Thena, and manifestation is in being. Now, in this supernal triangle, the head, which is not the father and the mother, concept of our cosmology, and we shall return to it again and again under innumerable aspects. Each time that we return to it, we shall receive. These earlier chapters do not accept to deal with any of the points exhaustively already noted for the student unfamiliar with the subject, and there are very many students who are familiar with it. Has not yet got the necessary mental furniture. It does say furniture. Enable him to appreciate the significance of a more, or at the present moment, engaged in assembling this furniture. In due course, we shall begin to arrange it into a house of life and study it in detail. All right, you want to read a bit? Breezy's going to type in here. Yeah, I'll hold it for you. Not needed. Okay, part 12.
Ina, the superior mother, as distinguished from Malthus, the inferior mother, the bride of microcosmos, the Isis of nature, and tenets. This is why we're studying.
That's right. It's okay. We're not judging.
There's two
how well you can read
and
things.
these are aspects. The dark sterile mother, the bright fertile mother. We already noted that she is called the Great Sea Mara, which only
I think her mic's off.
That's weird. You can hear any of that?
It was number 12. I read it though. That's fine.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we unmuted her mic, and I'm not sure why it didn't pick up.
That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, Mercury retrograde is what we'll say. Which it already has been coming in hot for. Sorry, are you done reading? Okay. You want to pick it up from 13, okay?
By the association of Bina with the sea, we are reminded that life has its primordial beginnings in the waters. From the sea arose Venus, the archetypal woman. The association of Saturn suggests the idea of primordial age. Before the gods that made the god had drunk at Eve their fill. It suggests the most ancient rocks within the shady stillness of the vale sat gray-haired Saturn, white as a stone. Max Handel speaks of the lords of the form as among the earliest phases of evolution and an inspirational work in my possession. The cosmic doctrine speaks of the lords of form as laws of geology. Considering again the symbolism of the two lateral columns of the tree, we see Chokma and Bina as force and form, the two units of manifestation. It would not profit us to go more deeply into the endless ramifications of this symbolism at the present moment, for it is carrying us beyond the three Sephiroth we have already studied. Let us process a further consideration of the mysterious dot which never appears on the tree, and to which no deity, name, or angelic host is assigned, and which has no mundane symbol in planet or element, as have all the other stations on the tree. Dot is produced by the conjunction of Chokma and Bina, and has been already noted. The supernal father Abba marries the supernal mother Amma, and Dot is the issue. Now Dot is called some curious things by Kabbalists. We will note, I think that's a type of few of them.
Oh, yeah?
In verse 38 of the book Concealed Mystery, Mather's English translation from the Latin translation of Nor von Rosenort, it says, for father and mother are perpetually conjoined in Yesod, the foundation, the ninth Sephira, but concealed under the mystery of Dath of knowledge. And in verse 40, we read Dath, the man that shall say, I am the Lord's descendant. Yod, the 10th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, is the foundation of knowledge of the Father. But all things are called by Yodo. Things are applied. That is something applied to Yod, concerning which this discourse is. All things cohere in the tongue, which is concealed in the mother. That is, through dath or knowledge, whereby wisdom is combined with understanding. And the beautiful path. Pipa read the sixth Sephira with his bride, the queen, Malakut, the 10th Sephira, and this is the concealed idea or soul pervading the whole mansion, since it is open for that where Moses referred, and the path light hid within the mother and is the medium of its conjunction. And it is noted that Yod is identical with the lingam of the Hindu system, and the Kether, Dat, and the beautiful path, Tiferet, and the sixth Kathira are in line on the middle pillar of the tree, which equates with the spine in man. The microsm and the Kundalini is coiled in Yesod, also the middle pillar. We shall see that we have here an important key for those who are equipped to use it. In the Greater Holy Assembly, verse 566, Mather's translation, we read concerning the head of Micropos, whose
Yeah.
body is being taken as a glyph of the cosmos. From the third cavity, there goes forth 1,000 times, 1,000 conclaves and assemblies, wherein that knowledge is contained and dwells, and the hollow place of this cavity is between the other two cavities, and these conclaves are filled from either side. This is this is that this is that which is written in Proverbs and in knowledge. That that shall the conclave be filled, and those who are expanded over the whole body on this side and on that, and with them does the whole body cohere, and the body is contained by them on every side, and through the whole body they are expanded and diffused.
All right, I can take it from there. Thanks. I was gonna see if you wanted me to pick it up, but I felt like you had some good momentum at the end. Yeah. All right. So when it is recalled that Daf is situated at the point where the abyss bisects the middle pillar, and that up in the middle pillar lies the path of the arrow, the way by which consciousness goes when the psychic raises on the planes. Also, and there here also is Kundalini. We see that in Daf is the secret of both generation and regeneration. The key is the manifestation of all things through the into pillars of opposites and their union in a third. Thus done the tree unfold onto the secrets of the Kabbalist. Triangle upon the tree of life is formed of the Sephiroth, chest, Geberth, and Triherth. Chest is formed by the overflowing of Bina and is situated in the right-hand pillar of Mercury. Indeed, below Croaksmith, the angle of the lightning flash, the course of upon the tree slopes downwards to the right. To the right cross of the glyph from Bina at the head of the pillar of to chest, which occupies the middle section of the pillar of mercy. Then the flash turns and goes horizontally across the glyph, back across the pillar of severity, in the middle section of which is found the Sephiroth Gebeth. And to the right slopes once more the symbol of emancipating force and indicates the Sephiroth Tipurath, which occupies the very center of the tree in the pillar of mind and equilibrium, or equilibrium. These three Sephiroths continue And I'm kind of going fast on this, but it's kind of a lot hitting us at once, for sure.
Yeah.
These three sephiroths constitute the next functional triangle we have to consider. And although we do not indicate exhaustively into the symbolism until we have completed our sanctimacy survey of the whole system, it is necessary to say enough to give some clue to their significance and enable them to be assigned to a place we are building up. The concept is so vast and so infinite that in its elaboration of detail, that to attempt to teach it exhaustively from A to Z must end in confusion. Only gradually can it reveal its significance to a student as one aspect interprets another. My method of teaching the tree may not be ideal for the point of view of systematic thought, but I believe that it is the only one which will ensure the beginner of the subject. It was upon the tree that I got my own mystical training, lived and moved, and have my being in its company for a good many years now. So I feel that I am competent to speak upon it from the point of view of practical mysticism. For I know from my own experience the difficulties of getting hold of Kabbalistic system. So intricate, abstract, and voluminous, so comprehensive and satisfactory when once it is mastered. Before we consider the second triangle of the tree as a unit, we must know the meaning of its component sephiroth. Chesed means mercy or love. It is also Gedwal, greatness of magnificence, and to it is assigned the shape of the planet Jupiter. Gebra means strength. It is also called Hazehead, fear. To it is assigned the sphere of the planet Mars. Means beauty, and it is assigned the sphere of the sun, which gods of the various pagan pantheons are being with the spheres of the tree. It will be found that the sacrificed gods inevitably come Tipperoth, and for this reason, it has been called the Christ Center of the Christian Kabbalah. Awesome. We now have significant material to make a survey of the second triangle, Jupiter, the beneficent. I'm not sure what that word means. And lawgiver. Do you know what it means?
Yeah, it's like the receiver of the benefits, I'm assuming.
Benefit. Okay, that makes sense. I can see that. So benefit, ruler or lawgiver, is balanced by Mars the warrior, the fury and destructive force, equilibrated in preferent and redender, redender. Gotta take some time to go slowly over these words that are really obscure, to me at least, the novice layman Kabbalistic researcher. In the supernatural triangle, we see the primary Sephiroth emancipating a pillar of opposites which express the two sides of its nature. In Binah form, masculine and feminine Sephiroths, respectively. In the second triangle, we have the pairs of opposites which find their equilibrium in the third, placed upon the middle pillar. From this, we deduce that the first triangle derives its significance from that form which lies beyond it, derives its significance from that into which it issues forth. Triangle, we find a representation of a creative force in the substance of the universe. In the second, we find where we have a representation of governing forces. In chest, in chest is the wise and kindly king, organizing his realm, building upon industry, fostering learning, and bringing the gifts of civilization. We have, in Gabarth, we have a warrior king leading his people into battle, defending his kingdom from the assault of the enemy, extending his boundaries by conquest, punishing crime, destroying evildoers. We have the Savior sacrificed upon the cross for the salvation of his people, and thereby bringing Gabarth into equilibrium with, or chest. There we find a sphere of all the beneficent and healing gods. Thus, we see that the mercies of and severities of Gebarah unite from the healing of the nation, or the healing of the nations. Would you want to take it from 24, good sir? Or would you like to?
Yeah, behind you, traversing is drawn Paroket, the wheel of the temple, the analog on a lower plate of the abyss. The three supernals from the rest of the like the abyss, the wheel in the consciousness. The mode of mentation on one side of the chasm differs in kind of the mode of order. Tiparet is the highest sphere in which normal human consciousness can rise. When Philip said to our Lord, "Show us the Father," Jesus replied, "He had the bad seen me had seen the Father." All the human mind can know of Kether is a reflection in the Terapet, the Christ center, the sphere of the sun. Paroket is the wheel of the temple, which was rent asunder of the crucifixion. We now come in our brief preliminary survey to the third triangle composed of the Sephoret, Netzach, Hard, and Yesdo, Netzach, and the basal sephira of the Pillar of Mercy. Art is the basic sephira of the pillar of severity, and the Yesdo is upon the middle pillar of the mildness of equilibrium, in the direct alignment with the Kether and the Tirafet. Thus, the third triangle is an exact replica of the second triangle upon a lower arc. The meaning of Nesta is victory, and to it is assigned the sphere of the planet Venus. The meaning of Hod is glory, and to is assigned sphere of the planet Mercury. The meaning of Yesdo is foundation, and to is assigned the sphere of the moon. While the second triangle might not inaptly be the term the ethical triangle, third may well be called as the magical triangle, and if we assign to the Kether the sphere of the three in one, the undivided unity, and to Tirafet the sphere of the Redeemer or Son, we may be justified in referring to Yesod, the sphere of the Holy Spirit, the Enlightener. This is an attribution of the Christian Trinity that fits better upon the three than its assignment to be the three supernals, which brings the Son of the place of Abba, the Father, and the Holy Spirit in place of Amma, the Mother, and is obviously irrelevant and productive of innumerable discrepancies in the correspondences and symbolisms. In this, we see an example of the value of the tree as a method of counter-checking vision or meditation. Correct attribution fits upon the tree, though endless ramifications of symbolisms, as we saw when considering the Bina as the mother. Incorrect symbolism breaks down and reveals its bizarre associations at the first attempt to the flow of out of a chain of correspondences. It is amazing what ramifications of association chains can be followed when the attribution is correct. It seems as if we are only the extent of our knowledge which limits the length of the chain that can be linked logically together. It will extend through science, art, mathematics, and epos of history, through ethics, psychology, and physiology. It was this peculiar method of using the mind which, in all probability, gave the ancients their premature knowledge of natural science, knowledge which has had to await the invention of instruments of precision for its confirmation. We get clues to this method in the dream analysis of analytical psychology. We might describe it as a symbol using power of subconscious mind. It is an instructive dis- it is an instructive experiment to toss a mass of irrelevant symbolism into the mind and watch it sort itself out of the meditation upon the tree, rising into consciousness in long association chains like dream analysis. Nesta, the sphere of goddess of nature, Venus. Or is the sphere of Mercury, the Greek analog of Egyptian thought, thought, thought. Lord of books and learning, observing their opposition, we shall expect to find two different aspects representing in them. These findings the equilibrium in a third. Yes, Yesdo, the sphere of Luna. We see then a third composed of the Lady of Nature, the Lord of Books, and the Mistress of Witchcraft. In other words, subconsciousness and superconsciousness correlate in psychism. Anyone who is familiar with the practical mysticism knows that there are three parts of superconsciousness devoted myth mysticism, which correlates with Tripartite nature mysticism, in integrity Dionysian type, which equates to
Yeah.
the sphere of Nesta, and intellectual mysticism of the occult type, which equates with the Hod, the sphere of thought, Lord of magic, Trifith, as will be seen by the reference of the diagram of the tree, belongs to a higher plane than any member of the third triangle. Yesod, on the other hand, is drawing very near to the sphere of Earth. To Yesod are assigned was
Oh yeah, go ahead.
uh,
You can keep reading if you wish.
to Yesod are assigned all the deities that have the moon in their symbolism. Luna herself, Hecate with her dominion over evil magic, and Diana with her presidency over childbirth. The physical moon, Yasoda in Asiya, as the Kabbalists would say, with its 28-day cycle correlates with the reproductive cycle of the human female. If if the symbolism of the lunar crescents be traced through the various pantheons, pantheons, it will be found that deities associated with it are predominantly female. It is increasing to note that the confirmation of our assignation of the Holy Spirit to Yesod, that according to MacGregor Masons, the Holy Spirit is a feminine force. He says Kabbalah. He says we are usually told that the Holy Spirit is a masculine, but the word ruach, ruach spirit, is female, as appears from the following passage of the Spetzer Yetzirah. Akat, female, not Akat, masculine. Ruach Elom Shum. One is she, the spirit of the Elom of life. When we consider the middle pillar is referring to levels of consciousness, we shall find further confirmation of this view. You want to take it, Nick?
Sure. Was it just connecting? Sorry, I got lost a little bit at the end of what you were reading, but
31.
it's mentioning Elohim.
Uh-huh.
Right. How was it? It was correlating the Elohim with the Kabbalah? Is that?
Yes.
I should maybe back. Well, it's really interesting how this is interwoven into, into astrology, into the chakra systems, angels. I really came to a clear understanding that the traditional tarot card decks are based off of the Kabbalah the other day. So.
Okay.
And if you want my opinion, it kind of looks like some kind of like root or something. I don't know, the symbol, the tree, I guess it's the tree itself, so it just seems like, yeah, I don't know. I need to meditate on it some more. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Everybody. As we got left here. Oh, wow. We actually just kind of blew through that. That's awesome. Well, thanks for all your reading, Mukesh. Appreciate that. Definitely carrying your weight this class.
What?
So you're definitely carrying your weight, man.
I guess so.
Yeah. It's greatly appreciated. Yeah. No, it's always good. I try and read these solo sometimes.
Okay.
But anyways, 31. There remains for our final consideration the Sephiroth. And I just want to say, like, I feel like saying the final one here. It took me a little bit to get the first 3 Sephiroths.
Uh-huh.
The Kether, the other first 3. And they're like throwing them all on us now. So
yeah.
It's hopefully going to be reiterated as we read. But might be something to, read closer on the PDF or pull the video back and watch over again.
Yeah.
So the kingdom, I'll just read that first part again. There remains for our final consideration of Sephiroth Malkoth, the kingdom of earth. The Sephiroth differs from the sorry, I burped, went to cover my face and dropped my page. So the Sephiroth differs from the others in several respects. Firstly, any equilibrated triangle. What is said to be the rectangular influences of all the others. Secondly, It is the fallen Sephiroth, for it was cut off from the rest of the tree by the fall. The stooping dragon arise from the world of shells. The kingdoms of unbalanced force separate it from its brethren. Behind the last page, shoulder the queen, the bride of the Prosophos, the serpent rears its head. And here is said it to be the place of severest judgments. Fear of Melkoth abuts onto the hells of the perverse Sephiroth, the quintuple Ulipoth, I think, or evil demons. It is the fermented whereby Elohim separated the supernatural waters of Dion, infernal waters of Leverton. The significance of the Culiputh must be considered fully in due course. Referred to them here in order to explain the position of Melkoth. We must say something further in order to render the explanation intelligible. Both singular Philip path and immodest woman or harlot. Harlot. What is that? Oh, harlot means whore, possibly, in the sounds of that. Are the evil and adverse Sephiroth, which emulate each emulation of imbalanced force from its corresponding Sephiroth onto the holy tree. These mansions, took place during the critical periods of evolution when the Sephiroths were not in equilibrium. For this reason, they are referred to as the kings of unbalanced force, the kings of who ruled before there was a king of Israel. As the Bible puts it, and in the words of Distinufla, I butchered that, but I don't care, I guess. Unless you know how to pronounce that.
I don't know.
Let's just, you guys can go ahead and read it if you need to. The book of Concealed Mastery, Mather's translation. For before there was equilibrium, beheld not counterance. Interesting. I'm not sure what counterance means. You know what that means?
What is the word again?
Countenance, like counting, count, and then innance.
No, I think it means. I can't remember what it means. I've heard the word before, but I don't know what it means.
Yeah. Didn't mean to put you on that spot, but I had no clue, so don't feel bad at all. Yeah, whatsoever. And the king of ancient time were dead, and their crowns were found no more, and the earth was desolate. We have now completed our preliminary survey of the tree of life. good. I really hope we actually explore that more thoroughly, because that was like a barrage of
Right.
words. Pop quiz. The unbalanced Sephiroth.
Yeah. You know, some complicated stuff.
Oh my goodness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody's watching. Don't worry too much about it. I have been saying that we're going to be able to go much deeper. There's always Wikipedia and Google too, so. We have now completed at a preliminary, yada yada, and the arrangement of the 10 holy Sephiroths thereon. Some clue to their significance, and have been given a hint or two of the manner on which the mind works when it uses these cosmic symbols for its meditation. Consequently, we are now in a position to assign each fresh bait of information to its correct position in our scheme. A jigsaw puzzle with a knowledge of the outlines of the picture. Crowley has adeptly taken the tree to a card index file in which each symbol is an envelope. This is a smile where it has, or which it would be difficult to improve upon. In the course of, we shall begin to file these filing cases and to find the cross index among them, indicated by the appearance of the same symbol in other associations. Thanks. Thanks, Lakesh, for bearing with me. I suck sometimes.
Yeah.
And so we are on to chapter 8. We won't read it right now. The patterns of the tree. That's what we got.
That's the next chapter? Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I feel a bit exhausted, actually trying to really hold on to understanding what all those were. Yeah. Everybody, high fives everybody who did stick with that. Lakesh, yeah. Yeah. There we go. Beautiful. So again, and everybody watching, this book doesn't specifically discuss Merkabah. However, the tree of life and the Kabbalistic and teachings underlying, from what I understand, what the essence of Merkabah is. So in our to really understand it more thoroughly, just going back and researching the roots, or one of the locations where it originated, be like many years long, this Merkabah study group. It's already taken 5 years of my life, and it certainly is fascinating. I'm going to draw a card right now. And it's one that I already drew earlier.
That's your card today.
Yeah, it's peace. I can't read that name. Peace comes from remembering that only love is real. I drew that twice. So yeah, thanks, Lakesh.
Thank you.
Tell me again. Stay
All right.
and lights you up.
No. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Oh yeah. Well, hold on real quick. I'm not signing off. I'm just sort of taking a breath from reading that book.
Okay.
Tell me, were you able to participate in any? You said you missed the first phase of the Merkabah activation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then you hit like the
Uh-huh.
the second and third phases, correct?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I got there quite late, but I think I think it was more like a progression.
Yeah. Okay. I remember.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad that you made it because really the second and third are the most important parts.
Mhm.
I'd say the first phase is like the warm up run.
Oh, okay.
So you kind of hopped in a little fresher.
Like yeah, I missed the basics, so I don't know. I don't think I don't have the experience if I would have been there.
Yeah. So, or would you mind sharing like what you experienced, like in general, your mind, your
I was just like because I got there late, so I was just like I know you were telling us to like picturize a triangle with a moving triangle and like concentrate on the light. So I got that far, but that's all I remember from there. But I tried to like really get into it, but I could not hold on my concentration for too long that day. Because, I don't know, because I missed the first phase and I had to jump in. I was all flustered or something like that.
yeah.
But I don't remember much after. Like I don't. That's all I remember. Like I was able to concentrate for some time, but I was losing it because I don't know because I was completely uh, into it. I wasn't there from the beginning, and maybe that was like I didn't have a solid link of what was going on.
It's okay. Yeah, the scheduling of
Yeah.
like was a little weird. I wish it was more broadcast when that was because during the first 3 days of light, the guy who actually taught Merkabah activation, there was, I'd say, like 100 people there,
Oh, okay.
and it's like, oh yeah, Merkabah light body activation, and yeah. Anyways, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I guess if so, you weren't able, you didn't really do much of the breath work. You kind of sat in during that.
Yeah, I don't even know if I came in the second phase now. I'm feeling like I missed more than that. I put on the breath work. Yeah, like you start off slow and you have to go fast, and you light up eventually in the third stage. So I got there. I was like, but I could not. Just because I missed the first few whatever, some time in the beginning. I think I could not achieve what was supposed to be achieved because of that.
Okay, that sounds like it.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyways, I obviously do it at 3 days of light this time. But see you obviously.
Definitely. Well,
yeah.
I mean, I consider we could, or I don't know. I guess what I'm thinking is that for next week's Merkabah study group and into the future, even I'd like to start to build on this. I'd like to start hang out with like some discussion and maybe read a chapter.
Okay.
Sort of practice.
Okay.
The breath. So, and maybe we'll do the breath work first. I don't know which one.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we'll maybe do it first to like pump us up, and then we'll read.
Okay.
But I think that way, you'll be able to really get what that is because it is like so powerful. Like when I've done it for some people, people that have never like sensed energy before through like Reiki or whatever, whatever spiritual realm thing happens.
Yeah.
Interested in it, but we're really like scientifically minded. Like it really like blew their minds. I would say blew their third eyes open, because like during it they'd be like, oh whoa, what's happening to me, and like after it they're like, I've never experienced anything like that in my life. I think I'm going to study yoga and Kundalini yoga and explode you onto this like spiritual path.
Right.
If you're not on it, if you're already on it, just more fuel for the fire.
Yeah.
For sure.
Cool.
I'm a little bit tired this week, but if you would want to maybe try and hop in with us next week,
Okay.
I think I would love to work with you to do some more of this breath work, and maybe we could experiment with the breath work, because what I was taught is that this is just like the initial phase of Merkabah activation.
Right.
And it's super powerful. Like I kind of consider it like you're getting in your light body vehicle. So you're imagine you're sitting in a car and you're tuning it up, and like you're turning your key on.
Right.
So you're hearing your car rev up, and we're like sort of putting oil in it, or tuning it up and turning it on. And then from there it's like haven't exactly clearly figured out like how we pilot it, what we do with it. Now that we got the car going, it's like where's like the reverse, where's like stuff like that.
Cool.
So in theory, what Merkabah can do for us, allow us to multidimensionally travel through our consciousness. And it's even said in the right vibration, like there's accounts of people like traveling multidimensionally to other planes of reality completely, whether that's astral or there's some accounts of physical.
Right.
So this could be like cutting edge, like research. Like people have studied this or it's been around for thousands of years.
Right.
I won't like hit you with it all right now, but
no, I understand. I really wanted to like do it, but I missed it the other day. Hopefully we can connect again and do something with that again. All right.
Okay, and just real quick before you go, did you hear about this through Facebook, or were you on the email list?
I was on the email list.
All right, cool. Good. I'm glad that's working. I'm not sure like who's checking that out. It looks like people are.
All right, Nick.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you, man.
Okay, man. I hope to have you next week, and yeah, if you're down.
Thank you very much. All right. Bye-bye.
Everybody, thanks for watching.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Keep it classy.